been a pretty fun 10 months or so for you, right?
Yeah, especially the Aaron Chalmers era. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Talk to me about that and about kind of, maybe being a guy that's not on a lot of MMA fans' radar, and then suddenly you're beating guys like Baby Slice, you're beating guys like Chalmers, and suddenly, boom, man, like you're a guy people can start talking about now.
Yeah, it's crazy. The thing about the Aaron Chalmers fight that was so great is that the setting that I was in when that whole thing went down, I went from Canada to England and then back to Canada. I was on a snowboarding trip. So it was really cool.
Did that make it feel even better when you beat him then?
Yeah, well, of course. I was in the middle of a really expensive trip when that happened too. So I mean that helped. The win bonus and everything. It's like replenishing the funds for my little vacation I was taking.
Talk to me about sort of being the guy that maybe isn't supposed to come in and beat somebody like Baby Slice, but then takes him out and kind of upsets the apple cart a little bit.
Yeah, well, so the thing about Baby Slice, and I don't know why he was such a big favorite. I mean, that ended up being like the 6th biggest upset in Bellator history or something like that. I have no idea why the odds were like that. It's like, if you even went and watched any of my fights that are on YouTube, you'd know that I have at least a chance of beating a guy like Baby Slice. I mean, come on. I think people get really wrapped up in names, and it becomes more important than, the actual fighting techniques and stuff. So, I was never worried about it, per se. Like, I was pretty confident the whole way through with that fight, even though I knew.
What did you learn?
Like I kind of figured I'd be like, I'm gonna get to go surprise a bunch of people. That's kind of how I looked at it, because everybody thought I was gonna. I didn't think I was gonna lose, but I mean everybody was like putting their money on Baby Slice, so I kind of knew that I was gonna get some surprise out of that.
Talk about this opportunity, because now, I mean, God, not to say that you're in a similar situation again.
This is more like what people thought that situation was, because. There's a good reason for me being an underdog in this fight. He is 15-2. He's fought some really tough guys. I mean, he's a really successful MMA fighter in general. He's actually, what people would call an elite MMA fighter.
What was going on? What was
he seems to be really dedicated to his training, and he seems to be in really great shape, and he does have some, good techniques that he uses in the cage. I mean, I'll watch his fights. He likes to take people down. He's never tired. Stuff like that.
Do you, the PR staff was joking earlier, calling you the legend killer. I mean,
yeah.
Does this feel like another one where...
He's a legend.
I mean, this time it applies. So we talked just a few seconds ago about people taking people for what their name is, but you beat a guy like him 3 in a row over 3 kind of named guys. Suddenly you're a name.
Yeah, it'll be ridiculous. The transformation will be crazy. It's a pretty surreal situation, honestly. And I have a really good track record being the underdog. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times I've ever been the underdog and lost. I don't think it's happened yet. So the only time I ever lose is when people think, Corey Bryant's going to go win.
Do you sit around and think about stuff like that? Is that part of the daydream process when you're not training? And
so since that loss,
you're thinking about what it would be like to
loss, I know
to beat somebody like him and you kind of elevate yourself, and then suddenly you're not just
to get back in there.
Maybe you're not just a guy that fights on the Bellator prelim. Suddenly you're a guy like, shit, man, we got to put this guy in the main card.
We're like, who do I go after next? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's one of the things I've been spending a lot of time thinking about. It's like, well, so if I do beat Nick Newell, what comes next after that? I'm gonna need help figuring that out. You know what I mean?
You'll probably be able to call your shot at that next tier of guys, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, what tier of guys does that? I'd say there's 4 or 5 tiers in Bellator of guys, and what tier is Nick Newell in? We don't really know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could be top or 1 down.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put him any lower than that.
Yeah. So you're not at a point where you can be like, I need a title shot.
How do you like the matchup?
I know you're
of course
realistic
not.
about that.
Yeah.
But you're at.
I gotta pay my dues. You know what I'm saying?
You'd probably be at the point where you could say, I need to fight a guy who's maybe been in that title contention, right?
Yeah. So maybe. Yeah. Or somebody that's close. I was actually going to. The two of the guys that I was thinking about naming, like if I asked for a fight before I got the Nick Newell offer, was going to be like Chris Bungard or Charlie Leary. They were fighting in Europe. You know, they were like 10-4 or like 15-8 guys. You know what I'm saying? See, 15-8 is like a tier like below Nick Newell.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I put my sights. You know, as a realistic jump up in competition.
How do you see the fight playing out on Saturday?
15-8.
When you think about how it's going to go down,
It's a pretty good record, a good solid fighter. Everybody respects him. You know what I'm saying? It puts you into the respect category. But a win like Nick Newell puts you into the well-known, like, well, that was an elite fighter category. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like to get it done, it's going to probably be a grind, or do you feel like if that's somebody you can go and take out?
I think the best finish here would be to put him away quickly, honestly.
You're going to make a lot of people unhappy.
I know, and I don't want to. I don't. Yeah, that's you know
That's the job, man.
There's a downside, and that's it. I mean, there is a dark aspect of me winning this fight. I mean, it's definitely there, and I definitely recognize it. Especially with like how important it seems to him and everything. But I mean, if I didn't go in there and give it my all, what kind of victory would it be for him anyway? I gotta respect the fact that he's a fighter. I gotta go in there and fight him. Like, you know. I mean, I want to win this just as bad as he does. I mean, look at what he'll do for me.